Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Friday, Sweet 16 action. We've got Utah versus Duke. Bryan, right now, of course, all of the talk and all the attention is on Kentucky. They're undefeated, prohibitive favorite to cut the nets down for the national championship. But if there's a team next to Kentucky that's getting a buzz because of the way they've blown out their first two opponents, it's obviously Duke. They're the next team that everybody's talking about, and rightfully so. They had two easy wins. But if you look at their two easy wins, beating a Robert Morris team, and I don't want to make anybody mad back in Pittsburgh, but Robert Morris is a small school in Pittsburgh. They have no right even being on the same floor with the Duke team, and they got blown out 85-56. Then they catch a San Diego State team in the next round, which some people thought maybe with San Diego's defense they could slow Duke down enough to make a game of it. But the problem is we've been in the Mountain West Conference. You know the MO on San Diego State. Their offense is really hard to watch in most times, and they just couldn't stay with the firepower. And the problem is when you get behind, if you got a team that plays good defense but struggles offensively, it doesn't do you any good when you fall behind double digits early. You're not going to get the job done.
Yeah, you're definitely not. And no truth to the rumor, by the way, that ESPN, the four-letter network, is changing their name to DUKE. Yeah, they're a major impetus for all the excitement about Duke, because they seem to always be on Duke. I mean, they had, Dickie V all those years with the North Carolina and all those teams. I think that's a lot of reason why they get a lot of hype. But yeah, you got a Duke team here, and you mentioned the San Diego State. That's a team. Duke is not only athletic, they're the best athletes in the country, and they're good shooters, and that's why they didn't match up well where they did match up well with San Diego State. But Utah on the season, all of their losses except one has been to a team who made it to the top 32 this year.
Right.
They lost to Washington out of their own conference.
That was the one. I looked at that last night when I was doing my notes, and I'm going back, and really I said, how the hell did they lose to Washington?
So this is a team who has beaten the lesser teams on their schedule all year long, but you go back and take a look at their losses, there were just some really good teams that they have lost to.
They do, and obviously they're playing a really good team here. But unlike, and I'm going to make the comparison to Utah with San Diego State, because defensively, Utah is kind of similar to San Diego State, where they can play some hard-nosed defense, get you into a half-court game. The difference, though, is Utah does have an offense, and they can score. And they shoot the ball very well from three-point range, which if you're going to stay with a team like Duke, the key to beating a Duke, and it's also the key to beating Kentucky if anybody's going to do it, is you got to be able to shoot the three ball, and you got to be able to defend it. And Utah does that very well. Utah shoots 41% from three-point range, and they're averaging 8 of 19 in that department per game this season. Defensively, they're only allowing 31% from three-point range, 5 of 16, so they're even limiting the number of three-point attempts. That gives them, to me, a good shot in this game, and I'll tell you what else gives me a good shot. And I know me and you have arguments about this when I say it. When I see a line and I look at it and I say, wow, it's almost like they kind of want you to go one way. This line, when I saw it first come out, I said, they want you to take Duke. And 82% of the public so far has taken Duke, which is to be expected the way they're playing and being such a popular team. But we're not seeing movement on the line. And when I see everybody talking about one team, the media, the public, I see all of the bets coming in one way, 82% of the tickets. But yet the line is holding steady. That gets me real interested in the underdog.
Well, I will say it's still early in the week. We see a lot of movement on game day. But you are right. I mean, Utah's one of those teams that stays under the radar, even with Majerus. So they're never a real popular team. But, a lot of guys that I respect had Utah advancing pretty far in this tournament. Unfortunately, they also had Iowa State, which didn't make it. But you talked about Duke. Duke's a popular team. Duke's off a couple of blowout wins. People making money on Duke. Of course, they're going to come back on Duke, and I think that's why we've seen the early money on that.
All right. I'm going to make it official. I'm going to actually go with Utah here. I think Utah can make a game of this. Now, what I'm going to tell you to do, though, is not to bet this game early. We're taping this on Tuesday. The line's sitting out there around 5. I haven't made a bet on the game yet. I am, but I'm not betting it yet because the public is going to come in hard on Duke on Friday, and I think you'll get your best number as close to game time on Friday, and that's when I'll be jumping in and grabbing Utah plus the points. You got to agree with waiting on this one. Right?
I would agree. I wouldn't wait till the last minute, though, because
the Sharps will come in.
The Sharps will come in late with the big money.
But look for the action mid-afternoon on Friday. They're going to come in with the Duke money and then grab it at its peak. Take Utah plus the points. Guys, don't forget, save $10, Sweet 16. Use that coupon code when you check out. You'll save $10 on any purchase. Now, this is a Friday video, but I just remind you, don't forget, every Tuesday, $2 Tuesday, you can get one of Wager Talk's top handicappers' best bet for that day for just $2. Check it out every Tuesday. It's $2 Tuesday at Wager Talk. All right, that wraps it up for our actual game picks this week. We got some baseball season win totals up next. WagerTalk.com.